One of the biggest hurricanes to make landfall in years, Hurricane Laura approaching Category 5 wind speeds as it approaches Texas and Louisiana. Welcome back, everybody. August 26, 2020, 7:38 p.m. And for those of you that don't know, you're about to find out, but we have an almost Category 5 hurricane, Hurricane Laura, approaching the coast of Texas and Louisiana, basically on the border of both of those states. Some of the most current information we have, which I believe is going to change very soon, 145-mile-an-hour sustained winds. That is a high-grade Category 4 storm as of right now. I am measuring wind speeds on radar scope close to 170 miles an hour. If I switch us over to the Super Res tab here and I pause it at the most recent frame, we can go down and measure some of the wind speeds being recorded close to the eye of this storm, and you could see here 167 miles an hour. Some of these may even get higher at this point. All I'm seeing is this rise over time. It was in the high 150s, and now we are looking at the mid 160s. So this thing is absolutely capable of producing Category 5 wind speeds, as you could see right here near the eye of the storm. We are already seeing that as it's still a ways away from the coast. We still have about 6.5 hours, give or take, before we're looking at our landfall. It's looking like it's going to be between Galveston, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. Some of the newer data we have shows the 150-mile-an-hour mark at landfall. That is going to be a devastating storm. They've been calling this a major wind event, not like Hurricane Harvey was. Hurricane Harvey was a big rain event. This one's going to be a big wind event with a huge storm surge. We're looking at 15 to 20 feet of storm surge. And in some of these areas like Cameron, as you can see here under that 15 to 20 foot mark, some of these areas have never seen a storm surge this high. Something that's important to point out, I have talked about a few times on the channel and in recent videos, if we do have that landfall between Galveston and Lake Charles, you could see that the higher of the storm surge is right by Cameron here, 10 to 20 or 15 to 20 feet in storm surge. That's because if the eye of the hurricane comes up in this direction, the extension about 75 to 100, even 150 miles is going to be pulling all that water into this part of Louisiana, right along that border area of Texas and Louisiana, or the state line, I should say. It's going to be pulling that water in and then pulling it back out near Galveston. That is if the landfall is where they say it's going to be. If you follow my cursor for a moment, you'll see that I'm circling Galveston, Texas right here, and then Lake Charles is right here in Louisiana. So we have the border and the state line right here between Texas and Louisiana. That's where they're expecting this landfall to take place. But if you look closely, in the last hour, I would say, the eye of the storm has taken a sharp turn to the north. I know it's hard to turn to the north, but when you're moving in a west-northwest direction and then you hook to the north, that's kind of what happened right now. So to put landfall out of the southwest area of the coast of Louisiana is not out of the picture. This may change. We could see the charts change. I don't think we're going to see the wind speed change. That is going to be on a constant rise, and I believe we may be seeing a landfall of a Category 5 storm. Devastating situation if that is the case. Even a high-grade Category 4 where we are right now will be devastating. Although wind speeds are probably a little above 145 at the time, we could probably safely say that we are 12 miles an hour off a Category 5 storm. Anything a 157 or basically 156 and above is considered a Category 5 storm, and with the 145 number, we're currently 12 miles an hour off that mark. This is clearly not a storm to mess with. For those of you that are even watching this video that live anywhere near these areas, any people within that cone of uncertainty, it is time to make a decision, and that decision should be to leave where you are right now, especially if you're within 30 miles of the coast. They're predicting this storm surge and the flooding at least to go in a good 40 miles. That's why those hurricane and tropical storm force wind warnings have gone so far north. I want to thank you all for checking out the video for this update on Hurricane Laura. If you do like this content, please like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Every little bit helps the channel. For those of you in the path of this storm, my prayers are with you. I will be updating throughout the night. I may do a live stream a little bit later as we get closer to landfall, but for now, those are your updated numbers on Hurricane Laura. Estimated landfall speed 150 miles an hour. That may very well rise as we're seeing higher wind speeds along the eye of the storm as we state right now. Thank you all very much. I will talk to you all soon. Be safe. Bye-bye.